Thousands of hackers have descended on Sin City for this week's Black Hat Cybersecurity Conference, of course, in Las Vegas. Dan Patterson's covering this for us with CBS News. Dan, just tell us first, what is Black Hat and why is it so important to cybersecurity in general? Frank Abagnale is known as one of the most famous con men to ever be caught by the FBI. Now, decades later, he actually works for the FBI and helps to train other CIOs and CEOs around the country about cybersecurity. He says because of technology, crime is 4,000 times easier today. What is it that you tell CEOs and CIOs about cybersecurity?
Well, first of all, I tell them that the most important thing they have to do is educate their employees.
First at noon, late breaking news, CBS Sports is reporting a former Louisville basketball recruit confirms allegations about paid escorts made in a controversial new book called Breaking Cardinal Rules.
In fact, WLKY's Karen Roby joins us now live from the grand celebration. Hey, Karen.
Hey, Rick, good to see you. You know, who wouldn't want a 6-day birthday party? This is really great for the Belle of Louisville, great for everyone here in our city and from others to come share in the rich history, 100 years for the Belle of Louisville. She's got quite a past, to say the very least.
One of horse racing's most prestigious events is returning to Louisville.
That's right. Churchill Downs will host the Breeders' Cup for the 9th time in 2018. Our Fred Cowgill is live at the track where the announcement was made this morning. Pretty exciting here, Fred.
Well, they say they are starting to, Monica, and you know, for all accounts here on the ground, just like yesterday, it's business as usual. Trucks are coming in and out to dump their loads, but up on top, as you can see from behind me, the heavy machinery is up there. The police recruits are back, the cadaver dogs, the forensic specialists, they're all here to go through and sift through all of this garbage, trying to find the body of 18-year-old Andrew Compton. We've got lots of races coming up today, and of course the Oaks race set for later on. Dan Coop is joining us. This is your first time out here for Oaks with us.
I'm happy to be.
Breaking news, a Louisville priest resigns following a child pornography investigation. The Louisville Archbishop will discuss the situation in about an hour. Hi everybody, it's CES 2020. We're here in Las Vegas where more than 4,500 exhibitors will be here to show off all their new technology. We're so excited about this, and two people that are not strangers to CES, Bill Detweiler and Tina Maddox, here with me to talk a little bit more about what we're looking forward to, what we can expect, and what coverage we're going to bring to you guys there on ZDNet and Tech Republic. So Bill, let's just start with our audience, some things that you're looking forward to telling them more about what we're going to see.
The following is a special presentation from WLKY.
I'm Karen Roby. We're taking an in-depth look at child abuse. It's a very serious and deadly issue in Kentucky. The Bluegrass State is near the top of the list when it comes to child abuse deaths. Now, in our special presentation, Breaking the Cycle of Abuse, we'll examine how this problem affects families and how it can be stopped. We begin with two heartbreaking stories. First, the story of Alea. In this nursery, time stands still.
I'll never understand it. Yeah.
A baby's laughter.
I've never in my life seen a happier baby.
No longer echoes here.
Yeah.
Alea Noel was born August 8, 2012. She was a preemie.
We had gotten in a car accident and it caused her to stop growing. They induced me.
Her mom, Mackenzie, was still in high school when she gave birth.
It was extremely tough. I mean, she was 17.
Alea's father, Barry Williams, was 20. It was not a relationship Mackenzie's parents ever approved of.
We didn't like anything about the relationship.
I never trusted him.
But Mackenzie was devoted to Alea.
Yeah, she's a fighter. Strong.
And at first, Williams appeared to be a devoted father.
For a while, it was perfect.
But soon, that perfect picture began to fade.
We now know how totally controlling and isolating he was making Mackenzie.
Williams began to demand his newborn daughter stay with him overnight.
I would beg to keep the baby, and she would always say, I need to ask him. And the answer would be no.
And I could only think about how many other teen parents, like teen dads, didn't want anything to do with their kids, and he was literally arguing with me over spending time with her.
Mackenzie increasingly gave in, making sure she was there at night when Alea fell asleep and in the morning when she woke up. But on February 26 last year, her daughter would never open her eyes again.
She was, making noises and moving, but I just couldn't get her to wake up. I asked him, what happened? Did something happen? And he said, she's just sleeping, nothing's wrong. So I called my parents.
Mackenzie's parents wouldn't know what to do. Her stepfather is a prominent doctor, her mother a respected nurse.
She won't open her eyes, and she's just moaning. And I can hear her through the phone. I knew something terrible had happened.
Alea was rushed to Hardin Memorial Hospital. Mackenzie's father, who is an OBGYN, was in a nearby operating room. As Alea struggled, Dr. Nethers arrived to find an awful picture emerging in the CAT scan.
As soon as the images started flashing up on the screen, I knew.
Baby Alea was transported to Kozer Children's, breathing only with the help of machines.
Basically, at that point, she was dead.
And the cause was as clear as that CAT scan picture.
This is the most classic case of shaken baby pathology that probably exists. He shook her to death.
He, Barry Williams, the father. Police immediately began to question him as his daughter lay dying.
At the hospital before she died, he was arrested.
Williams admitted to violently shaking his daughter to stop her crying. He was sentenced on January 21st to 20 years in prison for murder.
Tell me more.
You've seen the pictures. She laughed.
What
she
else?
smiled. She never
What else?
cried.
But under her smile, Alea's happiness hid an awful truth.
At the hospital, we found out that she had other injuries. She had old healing fractures.
Alea had been abused many times before.
The signs weren't there, and I looked all the time. I looked all the time, and that's part of what was so gut-wrenching and hard for me.
Alea took her last breath on February 27, 2013.
There's always going to be that part of you that feels like there was something you could have or should have done. I'm sorry.
Alea Noel was just 6 months old when her family was forced to say goodbye.
It's not fair. It shouldn't have to happen. It didn't have to happen. And that's what makes it so hard.